Ladies and gentlemen, it is the ITZR
Sorry about
Super
that.
Late Model Shootout. It's called the ITZR Late Model Super Late Model Qualifier Series. I figure out what I'm actually talking about tonight. What series do we have going on? You see the checkered is out. Practice is over. We are about to go qualifying. We are live here on. We're on YouTube here. I think we're on YouTube with this stream. This is the alternate server, the second server. We have two servers. We have so many cars that we want everybody to have a chance to race. So we actually have two servers that are randomly set up and randomly filled by your drivers. So in this server, we've got guys. You see Hugo Paquette is on the track for his qualifying effort. Hugo was the quickest in practice. So we'll take a look at the 33 cars. He is going to head out strict, what is it, tolerance here for the super late models. We don't want these guys to try to do any tricks on us. So we were watching Hugo go around. This is a loose setup that was given to us as a tighter setup, but I messed up the weather. So we now have a little bit looser setup than these guys are used to. So you see a lot of spin outs in practice. You can see the rubber going down off the corners as you watch Hugo get around here in the 33 car. Beautiful ITZR on the hood of that car. Watching him set a lap time, thinking that Hugo might be one of the fastest cars in qualifying. He gets around the bottom really nice there, and Hugo going to put up a 14.940. That is flying. Peter Fisher's out on the racetrack. Let's see if we can get a Peter. Nope, he looks like he's parked it. Colby Bryant there in the 9 car. Let's see, maybe Peter is here. We go. Peter in his Acura. That's an Acura TLX. I actually had to talk to him about it. I'm not sure what that grill is, but it is a TLX. Aaron Abendross setting time. Let's see if we can get some times here. So definitely Hugo Paquette. Kyle Martinson just finished his lap time. Hugo, quick time right now. We have some drivers that haven't taken time yet. Lucas Hanley with a nice time in the 15 car. Sean Larson on the racetrack. Sean Larson in a Yugo. One of the coolest cars we've seen so far. Apparently he got some crap from the guys in the broadcast last week, and he put a Yugo together. You see the grill on the front of that car. He's going to come around for his qualifying effort. Sean P12. Elliot Carlson hasn't taken time. Blake Neer is here tonight. There's Blake in the 14 car. We haven't seen him. He wasn't here last week. Blake's going to roll out slow. Hope that doesn't get him a black flag, as it is a strict restriction. Probably got the warning as you see the 14 car start to roll out. Hugo Paquette back out on the racetrack, going to take another opportunity to try to go faster. Thinking Hugo is just out there, and he does not go fast. Wow, consistency from the 33 cars. He runs a 19.420 on that run. We'll go back to Blake Neer in the 14 car. Blake getting around here. That's a loose race car. Blake hasn't had any practice laps as he drops out of that one. Might have Alt F forward completely, as Blake is not on the speedway at the moment. That one getting away from the man who won the ITZR Icebreaker 200. So we're going to jump over to the race. Actually, we're going to be in the B main. Ian Adams going to get an opportunity, and Lucas Hanley going to get an opportunity here to race in this race. Unfortunately, we've seen this before. These guys, if they don't run this race, iRacing generally breaks. So they will have to run this. So looks like Dylan Bates didn't make it out for the race.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to join into the driver. I clicked watch and it stuck me in here.
So you got Ian Adams in the 3 car and Lucas Hanley in the 15 car. I think both these guys decently fast in practice. Just had some issues in qualifying, so now they're going to be just out here basically with a real quick practice session.
Hey, Bill.
Yo.
The Pope wants to race.
Free Pope.
So Ian Adams going to get loose off of turn 4 in the 3 car. Lucas Hanley goes by him in the 15, and we've got a yellow. 2 drivers out here trying to get a handle on the car. Clearly Ian Adams not quite in a situation where he's got the 3 car underneath him as he spins it out off of turn 4. Hanley going just a tick slower, was able to keep the car underneath him. But we have got a yellow, so we're going to go A main racing right after this event. These guys got to finish these 15 laps out. The yellows do not count, so we're going to roll around. But it's only a 12-minute race at max. So it looks like Lucas Hanley's actually going to park the 15 car. He'll just come out for the main event. Or very possibly just going to roll down here. Let's see what the 15 car chooses to do as he's in the pits for service. So the 15 car going to get tires. Might be using this as an opportunity to put just right sides on the car, see what the car is going to do. As we see the right side lift up, and then we're going to see the left side lift up. So Hanley going to put tires on the 15 car after 3 laps. Actually, looks like just 2. So we have had setups that were loose and tight here at Bristol. Both produced pretty good races. Once we get a setup that's loose, usually these guys find a way to get around here that isn't too bad, and they actually do a really good job racing. So I'm kind of excited what we might see tonight. However, we've seen guys snap loose all practice session long, and again, that's my fault. We were running an afternoon setup, and supposed to be clear weather, which tightens the car up, which is the oddest thing ever. Wow, looked like the pace truck turned down so hard that it actually spun the tires a little bit. So Ian Adams going to lead as Hanley had gone down in a pit lane. Ian Adams looked really good off turn 2 that time. Good looking race car, the number 3. Dylan Lee, I believe, is also in this server, and the Pink Lady. That's Ian Adams' teammate. So Adams, as hard as he can be on the bottom side. You see this car definitely cuts around the bottom, but then all of a sudden these guys are finding that it just spins out on them. I have heard that after about 8 laps it does get a little bit tighter, and these cars generally tighten up, but maybe not here at Bristol. I think the rear tires go away, so it might be a sketchy race this evening as Lucas Hanley's going to put pressure on the 3 of Ian Adams for the lead. Hanley coming out of the 09 race shop runs over there. I'm not sure he actually runs as a 09 car, but you can see he's got the program on that car. That is the late model program that 09 has put together. 09, one of our sponsors here at In the Zone Racing. Their main setup builder, Daniel Pope II, actually builds all of our setups. Hanley sliding back just a little bit. These guys putting on a bit of a show at the moment. Just a two-car match race between these two. And they were tight, bumper to bumper. And Hanley just got behind just a little bit. You see 09 across the back of that 15 car. So Hanley trying to make up time on the 15 of Ian Adams. He does have they've run about the same lap time, but that time Hanley just a tick quicker. Remember, Hanley's got 2 lap better tires. I think he used it as what we... Oh, and Hanley's going to get wicked loose getting into turn 3. And that'll be the end for the 15 car. As you can see, he is upside down. Bottom of the racetrack. Ian Adams going to come around. If he doesn't get close to the 15 car, they will stay green. And Hanley just sitting on the apron at this point.
Pull the backup out, boy.
Hanley still sitting on the apron upside down.
Lucas.
Flagman said he's not in danger, boys. Let's keep going. So Ian Adams going to walk away with a B main victory. It's a heat race, B main, depending on how you look at it. We usually have more than 2 cars in the B main, but like I said, we have 2 servers up tonight, so there's 36 cars that are racing this evening, but they're split between 2 servers. So if we had a white flag for the 3 of Ian Adams, if we had all the drivers in 1 server, we would have had about a 20 car B main. And that would have transferred 8. That's usually what we do here at In the Zone Racing. And here, it's an Ian Adams victory in the B main in the qualifier series. He's still loose coming off of turn 4. So this is going to be an interesting race for these guys. We'll have 18 cars on the racetrack. Lucas Hanley going to pull out the backup car. We got a 2-minute quick warm-up session for these guys just to go out, feel the car out, get the tires warm. We just had a little bit of racing on the racetrack, 2 cars going around. That'll change the temperature of this racetrack. These guys are going to get an opportunity to see what it feels like now. Take a look at some of the cars in the field. You got Peter Fisher. You saw Hanley. Hanley's got the backup car out right there. Eric Tracy in the 66. Adams there in his car. Colby Bryant's got a new scheme this week. It's the Hooters car for the 9. Aaron Abendroth in the familiar 65 colors. Joey Fernandez. That car pops. Look at the shimmer on that car as he gets around the corner. The 00. Tad Douglas got a new car. He's still sitting in the pits. Jonathan Dickerman's out on the racetrack. He's in the 13 car. He's got silver instead of the 00 Joey Fernandez's car. See Keith.
I almost got on my roof.
Sorry about that.
Now when you got Pink Lady sitting in the pits in the 2, that's Dylan Lee. Tom Hammock out here in the 6 car. Tom with a good looking throwback looking scheme there. Kyle Martinson coming back out with another one of the IT009 cars. That car designed by our own Hugo Paquette. You can see racing designs on the side of that car. My Xfinity car designed by Hugo Paquette as well. Elliot Carlson in the 09. He's circulating, getting some warm-up time. Just a few seconds left. Looks like Blake Neer was here. He's still here. Blake Neer not able to make a qualifying effort, but everybody's in the race. Quickest car in qualifying. Once again, Hugo Paquette looking really good for this evening. Of course, this is the B broadcast, folks, so if you are watching on YouTube, this is not our normal quality. We do have 3 of us that are usually doing the broadcast. There's only me tonight, as the other 2 are on Facebook Live. Well, that's interesting. It's not supposed to have an invert, but it didn't invert 4, so... Colby Bryant going to start on the inside of the front row in that 9 car. On his outside, the 18 of Donald Clark. To the inside, it's the 77 of Kyle Martinson. And to the outside of that row, that's the 33, your quick qualifier of Hugo Paquette. Tad Douglas in the 117. To his outside, the 71, new looking car for both of those guys tonight. That's the 71 of Peter Fisher. Elliot Carlson in the 09. Almost difficult to see what that car even looks like from here. And the 65 of Aaron Abendroth. Jonathan Dickerman's going to line up in the 9th position in the 13 car. And to his outside, it's the 6th of Tom Hamika. Inside row number 6, it's the 66 of Eric Tracy. And to his outside, the 00 shimmery car. That's the neat looking paint scheme, Joey Fernandez. To his inside of row number 7, that is the first Yugo we've ever seen on the racetrack. We get a cool shot of that thing. Look at that, it's a Yugo. That's a 26 of Sean Larson. To his outside, the man did not grid. It's the 2 of Dylan Lee. We do have wave buys on, so he'll need some of those. Blake Neer in the 14 car, the Icebreaker 200 champion back in January. He's going to roll off in the 15th spot. Ian Adams, your B main winner, going to roll off 17th, and 2 is outside the final starter. Unfortunately, Daniel Pope came in as a driver, so it kind of messed up the lineup just a tick. Lucas Hanley's going to start on the outside in 18th. Looks like he's going to get a real bonus as Dylan Lee didn't grid, so he's actually going to start all the way in the 14th position in the 15 car. So we'll see how these guys roll off. Loose race car. You're going to probably fight for the high side and just try to fight for grip at the rear end of this thing. On Colby Bryant as he's going to watch the pace truck leave, and he's going to get on the gas. Donald Clark way late on the gas on the high side. That's going to check Hugo Paquette, your pole sitter, up. He's going to dive down in front of Tad. Look like it's Tad Douglas there in the 117 as he gets down to the bottom. Colby Bryant out front. That's going to be Keith Martinson, and the 77 car is going to follow him. I'm sorry, Kyle Martinson. Don't know why I called it Keith, Kyle. Hugo Paquette going to make quick work of Donald Clark on the bottom as he's around the bottom trying to get around the 18 car, but that's Clark going to get the run down the backstretch. Top side a little bit tighter up there, but you can keep up a little bit of momentum, but Hugo this time going to get by him through 3 and 4. We are yellow. That didn't take very long. I was getting kind of excited. Looked like these guys had it under control, but a couple of them unable to make it through. Let's try to figure out who and where that caution occurred. It looked like we had a blue car kind of tossed up and around. Oh, and it's Tom Hamika in the 6 car. Looks like he just
car going in the 3.
lost it going into the corner. Ooh, and that's going to catch some guys out. That's Blake Neer's caught it. Ian Adams caught in it. Let's see. That's going to be Hamika, unfortunately. Your cause of that caution. So he just spun it out, getting into the corner. It is a loose race car. You have to be gentle with this thing early. You are going to get an opportunity to see me do some admin work. The 6 car is going to get the trip to the back of the field. We give out EOLs. You just saw that happen. Unfortunate for the 6 of Tom Hamika. You can see the 66 there down on the bottom of the screen. That's Eric Tracy, as he's clearly had some damage, a tremendous amount of damage in the front of that car as he was caught in that accident. Unfortunate for Eric Tracy. Those 2 cars, the 6 and the 66, put those 2 numbers together and you get problems. Clearly that's what happened out on the racetrack. They're going to go to the pits and try to get some of that damage fixed on those super late models. Going to be watching these guys come around. They're going to be watching to see how much damage they can actually fix on those cars. Not going to get very much time. Is the field going to be coming through 3 and 4? Those guys are going to try to stay on the lead lap. Only a 75 lap race. Cautions do count. Hammock able to roll away. These super late models, they are tanks. They will take some damage, but I don't know. I don't know how much they actually need to take before they are a problem. So setting the field for you, that is the 9 of Colby Bryant. To his outside, it's going to be the 77 of Kyle Martinson. Third place, the quick time on the evening. Quick time in every single session. Practice, qualifying, and warm-up. That's the 33 of Hugo Paquette. That's the car you want to keep an eye on. He has been fast all night long. He won a race last week in this series. Let's see if he can do it again. To his outside, the 18 of Donald Clark. 117 of Tad Douglas going to line up on the third row. 71 of Peter Fisher to the outside, and that brand new Acura that he's put together for tonight. That's pretty cool looking. That's Elliot Carlson in the 09 with Aaron Abendroth to his outside. 13 of Jonathan Dickerman's going to line up in the 9th spot, and his teammate in the 00 going to be to the outside. Colby Bryant just about to go green flag racing once again. He is on the gas. You see Peter Fisher not getting a good jump there, about 8th position. So he's dropped back to actually 7th, starting 6th. Colby Bryant off the bottom, doing pretty well to keep the lead. Side by side, the 209 cars right behind him. That's Kyle Martinson on the outside and Hugo Paquette on the bottom. Hugo starting to make up some time on Bryant in the lead. Martinson hanging tough on the outside. So he's going to come down the backstretch. They're going to drag race. Seems to be where the outside gives it up right here in turns 3 and 4. Kyle Martinson going to hang out. Hugo's going to make a bottom move for the lead. Colby Bryant struggled off of turn 4 that time as he's going to be stuck on the outside. Martinson switches it over and follows Hugo through that door. Colby Bryant now trying to keep the 9 car wound up as much as possible on the high side as he's going to battle right now with Kyle Martinson. Through 1 and 2, Hugo Paquette is starting to set sail. These guys need to get back to single file and try to run some laps. Not let Hugo drive away, but Colby Bryant doing everything he can possibly do to not lose a bunch of positions. He's going to get into the wall off of turn 4. He's going to lose a bunch of spots now. Donald Clark goes by. Tad Douglas goes by. Peter Fisher looking the inside is going to get into the left rear of the 9. And they are going to spin out. Peter Fisher's going to flip and land in front of cars and traffic. That is not what you want to see for Peter Fisher or the 9 of Colby Bryant. Looks like Colby Bryant's going to get away with minimal damage. I'm sure that is not the case for the 71 car. Yeah, wow. Tremendous amount of damage on the 71 of Peter Fisher. We'll have to go back and take a look to see what actually caused this issue. Initial, I guess we were watching it as it was happening, but it looked like the 71 just shaded up a little bit and got into the 9. Let's look at it from the far chase view. Yeah, it just looks like Peter Fisher just kept going up the racetrack and gets into the 9 car. I think Colby came off the wall just a tick there at the very end, but if we watch the seam in the racetrack, you can see Peter just keeps going up until they make contact. And Peter was just trying to get the arc into the bottom, and that became a problem. As Peter gonna go down pit road. 71 is clearly broken. So 16 laps down in this main event. That was some good racing shaping up there. And unfortunately, a little bit of contact made for about the, I guess it was about the 5th position, 5th or 6th spot there. And those two guys go crashing into turn 1. We didn't, turn 3, I'm sorry. We didn't see which cars got caught in that, but I bet just looking down pit lane, Tom Hammock is back there trying to get his car cleaned up. Colby Bryant into the pits. Eric Tracy's got some damage. Looks like Lucas Hanley was definitely caught in some of that as he's got some damage on the left front. We did see when Peter Fisher got airborne and flipped over, he landed on the racetrack, and it looks like Joey Fernandez also has damage. Looks like those were the two cars that might have gotten into the Peter Fisher car. And we might have a car that just blew up on the pit lane, or maybe just spun the tires getting out. Peter Fisher coming out. Hamika also on the racetrack. These cars have some substantial damage to their cars. So you watched it. The 33 of Hugo Paquette made the move on the cars up front. He got around Martinson for second. Then he got around Colby Bryant for first. So Hugo Paquette, he's been quick all night long. He's going to be your leader in the 33 car. To his outside, his teammate. You can see those cars are very similar in appearance. Both designed by Hugo Paquette. So you can see the racing designs on the quarter panels. And the ITZR shoutouts. We appreciate that. So we're going to go green flag racing. Hugo Paquette going to lead the field back to the green flag. Some cartoon characters on the side of Hugo's car. I'm not sure what those are. Hard to see. Martinson with a good jump on the high side. We haven't seen that from a driver yet. He's going to be right with Hugo going down into turn one. He's going to get to the bottom, try to follow the 33 car, try to mirror his lap times as Hugo's been super fast all day long. Back here, we got a battle going on for about the 4th and 5th position. Elliot Carlson underneath the 65 of Aaron Abendroth, not able to make the move down the front straightaway. Going down into turn 3. I'm sorry, turn 1 as I'm backwards. I'm sitting on the backstretch. It's confusing. Elliot Carlson not able to make up some ground as Ian Adams ran that B main and won the B main. He's making his way forward. He's all the way up to the 6th spot. Ooh, Elliot Carlson thought that Dylan Lee was coming down off the wall in the Pink Lady. Kind of shaded down a little bit. So Elliot's locked in a battle. So he's going to fade back to the 8th position. We got Dickerman up on the wall. Dickerman trying to save the car. I don't think he did as he's around. He gets tagged. And it's not yellow. We are not yellow. Stayed green flag racing. I think he got tagged by Colby Bryant a couple times as they went into turn 1. But we are still green flag. Oh, and now we finally get the yellow. So a lot of stuff happening here in this race. Woo, and the pace truck just dirt tracking it around. Look at that thing go. I don't know, a pace truck might have just set the fast lap. That was insane. It was breaking physics. You could see that it wanted to spin out, but it's programmed not to. Let's take a look at what actually happened here. Dickerman up into the wall. So we'll go backwards. We'll do a little rewind action here. Don't get sick. So Dickerman around the outside. You can see Hanley down there on the bottom. Looks like Dickerman all of a sudden just got up the racetrack on him. And he is all over the place. Gets tapped going in, and he's still out of control. And then Colby Bryant just getting to the backside there. Not a whole lot the 9 car can do except for just completely stop. But the 13 was kind of all over the place. Not a tremendous amount of damage to the 13 car, but might be able to fix that car and still be pretty fast. Just like he got away from him there. So let's see where he is at. And it looks like he's going to be down in the pits, getting that damage fixed as much as possible anyway. See Peter Fisher and Tom Hamilton back in the pits, getting more damage fixed. But to watch to see where Peter Fisher ends up in this race. So he's been upside down. All right, so setting the field once again, we're going to hopefully go Lights out on the pace car. 26 laps down in this event, about to be 27 or go on to lap 27. Hugo Paquette going to stay in the lead with Kyle Martinson to his outside. Donald Clark in the 18 car is going to be there in the third position with Tad Douglas sitting there in fourth in the 117. New looking car for the 117 of Tad Douglas. I've seen Tad run the pink before. That's a pretty cool looking 117. Hard to see the numbers on that car, but definitely a nice paint scheme. Aaron Abendroth in the 65. He's going to be there with Ian Adams, who came out of the B main, the winner of the B main. His teammate Dylan Lee just to his inside, starting 7th on this restart. And to his outside, the man that was also in the B main that flipped the car and sat on the apron for the last 7 laps of the B main. That's Lucas Hanley. The backup car is rolling pretty good. Hugo Paquette going to lead the field back down to the green flag. Hugo back on the loud pedal. Kyle Martinson going to get down right in front of Donald Clark. Those are 3 teammates right there from 09 Motorsports. Aaron Abendroth, another teammate in 09, is in the 65. He's going to look to go get into 4th here. He's going to get underneath Tad Douglas, but Douglas going to fight back on the high side, and that 117 car gets a good run down the front straightaway. Side-by-side action right now as Ian Adams going to look underneath Tad Douglas, and that's going to be for the 5th spot. The bottom is the place to be here at Bristol. It's old Bristol. There's a little bit on the top. It looks like if that car hooks right around the bottom, it's going to go fast. You can see Lucas Hanley looking underneath the 117 of Tad Douglas. Going to give him room going down into turn 1. Dylan Lee up on the high side of the pink ladies. They're going to make contact. Lucas Hanley and Dylan Lee going down into turn 3. Lee's going to give him room. That almost became a big one. And oh, Hanley sideways off of 4. We're trying to find where Hanley was, and we are still green flag racing. The yellow is not out on the racetrack. So Hanley, noses are into the wall, but it didn't bring out a yellow. Tad Douglas back underneath Aaron Abendroth. He's going to try to march back forward as he had slipped back a few positions on the high side. They are side by side for that 5th position. Whew, you can see Aaron getting loose on that high side. These guys are hard on the throttle to make this thing stick. It is a loose race car. It is starting to tighten up on some of these guys. You can see the racing becoming pretty good between all of these guys. We want to see some tire wear. That'll make it even better. Dylan Lee's going to look underneath Aaron Abendroth. Aaron Abendroth caught on the outside. Can't get going. Now you can see Ian Adams moving up the racetrack a little bit, trying to make the car a little bit more comfortable for him. He's moved up about him. Well, he had. But we can see, looks like Lucas Hanley has gone into the pits, but Ian Adams making up some time, and he's running out up high. Actually, he's running up high and then cutting her down. You can see Ian making big runs. Ian in that 3 car, going to try to put pressure on the 18 of Donald Clark. As you can see it, there he's going in high. He cuts her down and hammers the throttle, and that thing gets a good run down the back straightaway. Actually kind of topped out on him there. I'm sure these cars are getting really close to the chip. This is your best battle on the racetrack, is now Martinson getting pressure from Donald Clark. Donald Clark winning a championship in another league here recently. So we could say that Donald Clark is a championship driver, but you can see he's got the program on that car. That is the late model version. Oh, and Ian Adams into the wall is going to get tagged by Douglas. They're going to keep going, but now Douglas probably has a little bit of front end damage. Ian Adams struggling in that 3 car. All of a sudden, he had it rolling, and now it's gone away. Might have angered the tires with that little slide. That can happen in this car. Now his teammate's going to look to the outside of the 2 car, and you can see Ian is sliding that car around. Those tires are upset. Dylan Lee to the outside of the 2 car is going to go around his teammate in the 3. Here comes Aaron Abendroth, who had slipped back early, now starting to move forward. We're watching Ian Adams and his struggles. He won the B main, had it rolling, was passing cars left and right. Now he's sliding backwards as he just came off of turn 4 2 laps ago. Got the car loose, and the tires haven't cooled down. He's still trying to make it happen. That's your battle on the racetrack right now. Nobody else side by side. These 2 cars are. Ian Adams starting to get the 3 car underneath him once again. But you can see the payment he had to pay when he got that car sideways. It just did not come back to him for a few laps. And now he's in the wall once again in that 3 car. Ian just driving for all it's worth. He is the show right now in this 3 car. Let's head back towards the front. It's Donald Clark and Kyle Martinson still going to run around nose to tail. There's your leader, the 33 cars. He's just having a nice little Sunday drive out here in the front. He's been fast all night long. Hugo Paquette, the 15-year-old out of Canada. Hugo with a nice little ITZR shout out and an even bigger shout out on the 77 car. I'd like to see that. Donald Clark going to try to vary his lines a little bit in the 18 car. Loses a little bit of ground to the 77 for second. Tad Douglas trying to run both of those guys down. The 117 car. And then there's Dylan Lee in the pink lady. He's going to be right there. And then that battle we were watching, Abendroth, Ian Adams, they're still together. Now Eric Tracy going to join that battle. Your early leader, Colby Bryant, there in 9th. Joey Fernandez running around in the 10th position in the 00. Right behind him, the 09 of Elliot Carlson running around. Peter Fisher's got some of that damage. He's been upside down. He's running around in 12th, right in front of the 13 of Dickerman. Dickerman's been in the wall today. You can see the damage on the right side of the 13 car. Here's Sean Larson in that Yugo. Check that thing out. Tom Hammock able to get some damage fixed on the 6 car. He's still running 15th. And Lucas Hanley, your last car on the racetrack. He's clearly broken. That car does not look good as we are yellow. As we were going around, look at everything. Looks like Hammock is down on the bottom once again. But I don't think he would have brought out a yellow. There are no cars around the 6 car. Oh, and we have some more caution happening up here. More caution happening. So Hammock, like he had issues there. Oh, we do have a car spinning up in front of these guys. Something going on. It's the 3 of Ian Adams. As we can see him there. So Ian, see what happened to him here. As Ian, woo, we're going a little too far. But Ian coming around the corner. A little loose on the high side. Gets down in the 65 of Aaron Abendroth. Abendroth able to slide it, save it as he bounced it off the wall. Ian caught up with a couple of cars, but looked like the 3 car of Ian Adams. Ooh, it sounds like we got some contact happening a little farther back. But this looked like Ian Adams as we saw him struggling just a little bit earlier. He just gets sideways. Gets down on the 65, gets tagged by the 66 of Eric Tracy. Tracy up into the wall. It's a shame for the 66 cars. He was starting to roll pretty good. A couple of cars back there running into some things. Woo, and Ian Adams still. You can see that on the replay, just still trying to get it underneath him. That's going to require some admin work.
So, is the pits messed up? Can you guys hear me?
Nope.
Oh, the pits messed up? Like where you're, individual pit lanes?
I think single pit lane is where you have to take both. Dual pit lane is where you just run your whatever pit. You pit on whatever lane you're on.
10-4, I thought this was the one where you have to go all the way around pit lane, but apparently it's on where you can pit on the front straightaway. It's black flagging people.
I'm taking top.
Hey, Bill, I got an exiting a closed pit since we went around both pits. Can we get that cleared, or what's the procedure for that?
Who was it that has it?
66. Thank you.
I got one too, Bill. I don't know if it's going to give it to me or not, but
All right, so we got some penalties happening. Looks like just stay in the front pits from now on, guys. Don't roll the back. We don't have enough cars anyway. So you can see Hugo Paquette. We're gonna leave on the UI for just a second here. Some of these guys are getting black flags. We want to make sure everybody's clear. Hugo Paquette going to lead him down into turn 1. He took the high side, so Tad Douglas going to be stuck on the bottom. Aaron Abendroth was able to get by the 117 car for the second position. Doesn't look like anybody's got any black flags, so we're going to jump back here and start watching some racing. Watch that battle for the third spot. So you can see Dylan Lee able to get around the outside of Tad Douglas. Douglas stuck on the bottom in the 117. The 117 looked like he was in the fast spot, but Dylan Lee just about a half car length up off the bottom, and he's able to roll around the top there, and he is by the 117 car. So don't look now, but Colby Bryant, your early leader, he led the first group of laps before he was kind of caught up in a mess as he had been passed by Hugo Paquette, but then got caught in a mess. He is back to the 5th position, so Colby making a really nice comeback here in the 9 as we go yellow once again. 57 laps into this race. We'll try to figure out where that occurred. And it looks like Dylan Lee might be, or I'm sorry, Ian Adams. Ian Adams around once again. Trying to figure out what happened to Ian. Ian just loses at getting through 3 and 4. Might have gotten tires on that car as he is stuck off the backstretch here. Ooh, and Donald Clark going to come around and hit him. Stationary race car. Donald Clark clearly didn't see the 3 car. So he spun around and got back going. Alright, Ian, that's it, bud.
That's our pull off next time around.
So Ian Adams, that's 2 EOLs on the 3 car. That'll be the end of the evening for Ian. Ian had a great run early, so we watched it. We watched it happen. He was flying around this racetrack on basically the top to middle. And then the car just started to get away from him, got a little bit looser, a little bit looser, a little bit looser. And I think he just slid the tires one too many times, and it just never came back to him. So the 3 car, your B-main winner, had a good race in the B-main. Not able to capitalize on that as he's going to be done 58 laps into this main event. 58 of 75. So Hugo Paquette, the man to beat. Now you've got Aaron Abendroth there in 2nd position. Both 09 drivers. Dylan Lee and the pink lady there in the number 2. Tad Douglas going to be there in the 117. We saw Dylan Lee get around Tad Douglas for the 4th position, but he did that on the top. So now it's going to be flip-flop. Tad Douglas going to start on the top. Colby Bryant making a rally back in the Hooters number 9. A little bit of a Chase Elliott style car there. Joey Fernandez in the 00, that shimmery 00. Joey making his way forward as he was in 10th position last time we looked at him, and now all the way up to the 6th spot. Elliott Carlson also making his way forward as is now up to 7th. Jonathan Dickerman moving the 13 car up to 8th. Sean Larson in the Yugo, he's up to 9th. Eric Tracy, we saw him get some damage in one of those accidents that I believe it was Ian Adams. He spun down to the bottom, and Tracy got caught up when Abendroth got up into the wall. But I believe it was Abendroth that took that little bit of a hit. And Abendroth able clearly to recover. So he's running in 2nd spot. Hamilton back there in the 11th spot in the 6th car. Donald Clark looked like he got into the 3 car just a little bit, but not a tremendous amount of damage on the 18. Kyle Martinson. These guys must have taken tires. I think tires were the order of the day. These guys were all running up front. Martinson had been in 2nd most of this race, now running back in the 13th spot. Peter Fisher going to be rolling around in 14th. Ian Adams, we talked about his woes for today as he's now parked on pit road. And Lucas Hanley's back out there in the 15th, so he got some of that damage fixed. We can see all the damage on the 15 car. Good looking race car, that 15. The lights are out on the pace truck. We're going to go back to green flag racing. Hugo Paquette, Aaron Abendroth, Dylan Lee. You see they're flip-flopped here. Hugo Paquette going to take the top once again. Dylan Lee going to be on the bottom, going to be stuck on the bottom. Unfortunately, the leader's to the outside. That's going to help the 4th place car of Tad Douglas. So we'll see if Tad can get a good restart here on the top, because the guys on the bottom usually struggle. Tad, not a good restart, not able to keep up with the 33 Hugo Paquette. You see some cars wiggling as these tires are old. Dylan Lee on the bottom, Tad Douglas on the outside. Big race back here for the 4th position. Here comes Colby Bryant in the 9 car, led early in this race. Now he's trying to make a move for 4th. So you can see his car getting just a little bit loose on the bottom, and Tad Douglas fighting back on the outside. Side by side through 1 and 2. They're going to stay that way. And now we got to battle Elliot Carlson looking underneath Joey Fernandez for the spot right behind these guys. So we're 2 by 2, 2 rows in a row. Well, yeah, that sounds right. Fernandez struggles a little bit off of turn 4. He's going to fall in behind Elliot Carlson, but the battle still rages between Douglas and Bryant. Douglas able to clear the 9 car getting into turn 3. He'll take the 4th spot. Dylan Lee putting pressure on the back of Aaron Abendroth for second as we are side by side a little bit farther in the pack. Eric Tracy will look underneath. Actually, it might be Martinson who was coming forward. We had said that Martinson had gotten tires. Tracy loose off of turn 2. Now Martinson rolling. He is on the outside. He's got tires. He's trying to get around all these guys up into 4. He's into the wall. That's not where Martinson was trying to run. Donald Clark able to squeak by the 77 cars. You can see Martinson all over the throttle in that car. He's got some damage on the right side. He's going to be in the wall once again. And that is not going to be good for the 77 as he might be done for the evening. Didn't bring out a yellow. So he's going to be way behind. So let's go back up front. Let's see where the battles are happening as Hugo Piquet is leading this race by just over 0.4 of a second. There's a battle back for Elliot Carlson is now making a move on the 9 of Colby Bryant. So Elliot was kind of riding around. I've seen Elliot do this before at Bristol. Elliot saves the tires in that 09 car. He rides around at about 11th or 12th, and then by the end of the race, he's got tire and everybody else doesn't. And then he shoots forward. And here he comes again. As he's going to watch Tad Douglas get into the wall. Oh, that damaged the front end of Elliot's car. Elliot's car was clean before that. Now it's not. Let's see if that hurts the 09 car at all. So he was rallying in that 09 car. Hugo Piquet sailing in the first position. He is in the 33 car. He's blowing everyone away. The 15-year-old Canadian. We call him Hugo, and that's because he goes. That's what he does. 2-time champion in the late model shootout series, and he is blowing everyone away tonight. He won last week's race. He's winning it again as we've got a battle once again. That battle continues to rage as Bryant struggling all of a sudden. He was coming forward. Now he's struggling. Now Elliot Carlson's going to look under Tad Douglas for 4th here late. Carlson, he's got tires, you can tell. Carlson doing it once again here at Bristol. Teaching everybody how to save in a super late model. That's tough to do. Carlson going to take the 4th position from Douglas and set out for the pink lady. Dylan Lee running there in 3rd. Carlson much quicker right now. Let's see what they're like. Oh, and we are yellow. A yellow while it was starting to happen. This is going to set up a green-white checker in this race. Not sure anybody has anything for Hugo Piquet, but everything else is up for grabs. And let's see where that yellow occurred. I think I saw the 6 car of Hamika. Let's see what we got going on here. Hamika into the wall. See if Hamika had any help getting into the wall as he was underneath, or Sean Larson was underneath him in the Yugo. It just looks like Larson was by. Hamika just got up into the wall. That collected Donald Clark, collected Peter Fisher. Peter Fisher helped him go around. That kind of caused the yellow. Saw Kyle Martinson down on the bottom. All right, Tom, that's it, bud. So Tom Hammock, the cause of that caution getting up into the wall, basically stopping in front of the 71 of Peter Fisher. So Tom having a tough night. Tough race car to drive tonight. My fault on the weather. You see cars rolling by 4 wide. So right now, you got 2 shows on the racetrack. You got your leader, Hugo Piquet, doing a fantastic job in the 33 car. Hugo's been fast all night long. He was the fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, fastest in the race. He's the fastest in warm-up too. So Hugo looking to sweep the entire event tonight. You got Aaron Abendroth running 2nd, Dylan Lee running 3rd, and the other show on the racetrack was the 09 of Elliot Carlson. You can tell Elliot was running towards the back most of this race. And now he's coming forward. He's turned on the go switch, and he's coming forward. It's clear that he was saving tires as he had fallen back through the field. And it actually looked like he was struggling with the race car, but clearly, at this point, I think we know what Elliot was doing. He had strategy, he's played it, he's moved all the way up to the top 5. Tad Douglas in the 117 car, been up front all night long. He's there in the 5th spot. Colby Bryant looked like he had just started struggling just a little bit with that 9 car. Joey Fernandez in the 00. 13 of Jonathan Dickerman. You can see those cars are team cars. You can see they swap around the color just a little bit, even all the way down to the number. You've got the gold and the gold, and then the silver and the white. That looks supposed to look very similar with those two cars. Eric Tracy in the 66 has a bunch of damage. Sean Larson, the Yugo, rolling around there in the back. He's rolling 10th right now. Peter Fisher's been getting that 71 car fixed up all night long. An Acura TLX, that car is. Peter out of Vermont. I think Donald Clark got caught in some action there as he's all the way back into 13th. Ian Adams still in the server. So he's sitting in the race car. But we are lights out, green, white, checkered. Hugo Paquette's going to lead the field to the green flag. 2 laps, they're trying to get to the white. Once they get to the white, no matter what happens, this race is over. As long as they get back to the checkered. Hugo with a good jump over Aaron Abendroth. Elliot Carlson going to move into 3rd. Dylan Lee, not a very good jump in the pink lady there in the 2, as Colby Bryant's going to be to his outside. That's where the battle's going to be. As they go down into turn 1, Dylan Lee underneath the 9 of Colby Bryant. Colby Bryant's going to clear him going down the front straightaway just barely. We get the white flag. Hugo Paquette going to take the white. Elliot Carlson up the track just a little bit. Colby Bryant almost there. Elliot Carlson going to look at Aaron Abendroth to possibly get around the 65 car. Can't do it. Hugo Paquette is going to win this one 2 weeks in a row. Colby Bryant and Dylan Lee came across the stripe side by side, but it's going to be Aaron Abendroth taking 2nd. Elliot Carlson runs it all the way up to 3rd. Colby Bryant rallies back to 4th. Dylan Lee 5th. Whew. That's pretty good towards the end there. Jonathan Dickerman bringing home. Oh, we see Fernandez getting around, getting into Tad Douglas. I don't think
Good
there
race,
was any
Phil.
intentional as he was screaming sorry on the radio. You got Joey Fernandez there in 8th. Tad Douglas ended up 7th as he slipped back a couple of positions at the end. Let's watch some donuts for Hugo Paquette. So this is the ITZR Qualifier Series, the only way to get into the Late Model Shootout Series where we gave away $900 in prizes last season. These guys battling for spots in that series. Hugo Paquette, a 2-time Late Model Shootout Series champion, well on his way with 2 wins in 2 weeks. The 33 car. Once again, thanks for the ITZR shout-out. 09 car. Good stuff. Hugo Paquette, your winner. So that was some good racing this evening from Bristol. If you guys enjoyed that, go over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/InTheZone Racing. Give us a like, give us a follow, whatever you want to do. And enjoy more racing. We do this on Monday nights. On Tuesday nights, we do our own racing. On Wednesday nights, we take the night off. And then on Thursdays, we're back at it with our Big Block Modified Series. So if you guys are enjoying that, you can even join the series. This is a free entry series. Most of our series are pay, but this is a free one. So if you want to take part, let us know on our Facebook page. Just give us a message. Let us know. But other than that, we will see you with the Qualifier Series next week. And have a good evening.